Hey guys, how you doing tonight? We are getting things live and direct. As you can see, I'm in my a workout shirt. I had to go cut the yard. I'm a little bit sweaty, a little bit out of breath, but I'm gonna try to make this a relatively quick webinar for you guys. Give me a quick second and let me see if I can get the screen up where I see you. Okay, there you go. All right, so let me turn down the volume a tad bit. I'm checking in. You see that we have one person watching right now, and I think that's all of me and Colin. Let me mute this other screen here. I'm going to bring up my OBS. I'm going to look at one of these video capture devices. I'm going to pause that. Give me a second. Display capture. No, that's not taking it off. Let's see. Right now, you got 3 of me on the screen. Let me see. I'm trying to get rid of one of these screens. Let's see. Nope. Nope. There we go. All right. So today, what we're going to talk about the webinar, basically 3 things. It's not going to be that long. The first one is the Masternode ATM that we finally have online and is actually confirming blocks in our blockchain, while at the same time able to buy, sell, trade cryptocurrency. That is the one what we posted today, posted a few days back earlier this week, in terms of us actually getting it out. Some people asking, hey, well, does it work? Hey, are these things live? Yes, we have this Masternode ATM that is functional. I mean, it's actually receiving LPC for confirming blocks and creating new blocks. So it's at the point now where it is functional. We're waiting for people now who would like to purchase. We spoke to some people who are interested in purchasing the ATMs, but for the most part, it's ready and it's live. So I think that's it. This, by all definitions, meets one of the project promises of having a functional Masternode ATM. And this is the first of many, so it's only the beginning. And I would like to appreciate the community for being patient so far in us making this progress. There are some things that we do need to square away in the community, such as around the dev coming on board, and I think Colin might touch to that. I know Jean is running point, or Jean is running point on the dev, getting a dev out of Venezuela, and we've had some conversation over the GitHub, and he says that he is actually doing work. What that work is, you can contact Jean or Jean. I'm not quite sure. He hasn't been on the webinars. Asking me because he wanted to be on the night. He said he wasn't going to join. So that's where we are with the Masternode ATM. It seems like if there are no questions on that, I'll move on to the next issue that we have on the agenda, which is the Xchainz beta testing and feedback. We opened up the beta testing for about 3 to 4 days earlier in this week, and in that time period, we got lots of feedback. In particular, and there are people in various countries, such as like China. Like what Colin had mentioned to me, is that the CAPTCHA to prevent spamming for logging on, it doesn't work in China because Google is banned in China, and we can use a Google CAPTCHA. So that's one of the immediate updates that we brought the site down to make the updates on that, as well as a couple of issues on the user interface. We will be making guides for individuals to be able to use the use the web wallet. So just please bear with us as we're rolling this out. Once again, this is more like a one-person operation. I see the question from Bizwachi Love HD Video Collection. Any update about LPC listing on new large exchanges? With beta test that we're doing on the wallet, and I'll say I'm swamped. I haven't had the time to submit our Bittrex application. So that is the primary goal for me. I did submit application and pay the fee for Yobit. Is the case. They're saying, even though we paid for a premium listing, they're saying that they haven't completed our application, or there's something with the receipt on the Yobit code. But I paid the Yobit code, verified the Yobit code was received. So it's the point where it's all on them, guys. Some people are saying that Yobit is a untrustworthy exchange, and I'm not saying that I'm saying that at this point, but it's a little shady considering that we paid our fee almost 2 weeks ago, and we haven't been listed, and even though we paid for a premium fee. And that's where we are on the Xchainz listing. So hold it on me for the Bittrex. And I'm glad you did ask the question for getting the Bittrex application in. And for those of you who don't know, we did submit the Bittrex back in December. They said they like what we're doing. Just resubmit the application in about 3 to 6 months. It's over 3 months now, probably in the 4 or 5 months time. So now I'm resubmitting the application because we've done a lot since the last update. So that's where we are on the on Xchainz. The Masternode ATM online, I gave you that update. It's producing blocks, confirming blocks, making more blocks on our LPC blockchain. And and just to explain about the beta testing with the wallet, the other functionality that we're building into the wallet is that anyone, including LGS being on the platform, the multi-currency exchange wallet, is that they will ultimately be able to swap into LPC to cash out. That is, if I finish before the dev finishes, integrating LPC into LGS and LPC together into one chain. If I beat them to that process, the devs that John is running point on, then it's the case. LGS will be able to just swap into LPC and cash out on any of our ATMs, so to have liquidity in that regard. And we're onboarding. Don't forget, we started a 100 Partners program at the beginning of this year. I've been contacted by a few projects that are interested in being listed on Xchainz, and B, also being part of the 100 Partners program. And we can talk about them as they come on board. So, but we need to get the wallet out. We need to get it where we're going to be in beta for probably 2 to 3 weeks. So we did take the site down for a bit. There's nothing happened with the like the accounts. When we switch over to production, those same accounts and the same wallets will be in place. So you don't have to worry about some issue with the wallets being switched over or something happening to them. But we are taking the feedback into consideration, like the CAPTCHA, some of the layout, reducing the verbiage on the account so we can start doing translations into the various languages such as Spanish and Mandarin Chinese, and even into Russian as well. So I do appreciate the feedback. Once again, I just got a lot, and I have a list, and I'm checking it. So I'm going through one by one. Niraj he's done some testing, some penetration testing on the platform. There are a few things that we need to definitely get in order to be so that we can have a premium site, and everyone feels very comfortable in putting funds on the platform and creating messages, encrypted messages in IPFS, and sending currency and registering assets on the blockchain. So I do appreciate the feedback. We're doing the updates based upon what the members have told me. I think getting into as many exchanges as possible is better for both exposure and LPC and LGS value. I totally agree. So it's one of the things. Now that was on me. So let's have a responsibility where we put exchanges on the agenda, every agenda, until it's done. So what I have to do, just to give you an update where we are on Bittrex. The application is complete, but once again, I was just submitting or waiting for the Yobit listing to happen. That hasn't happened for one reason or another. There seems to be, or it's perceiving to me, that there are some issues with the Yobit. They're saying some issues about our application. and not the Yobit code not being like verified. So, but we've done everything on my part. So if you'd like to see some of the conversations I've had with Yobit support, I can send that to you. Just let me know. Hit me up in the Discord channel, and I'll just cut and paste those conversations that I've had with the Yobit support team. I'm no longer waiting on them to post the Bittrex, but this week I've been swamped with the updates on the Bittrex on the Xchainz beta testing and getting that in place. But I do appreciate you guys. And once again, this is like a one-man show that's running along, getting this wallet out, getting us listed on exchanges, and getting us more partnerships in place. And at the same time, not on the agenda, but we were approached later this week. I think it was Thursday or Friday. I think I CC'd Colin on the communication. There was some venture capitalists were interested in having a conversation with us, and we're going to have that conversation. I'll tell you how it goes next week. But it's something that people are interested in our project and what we do. So I just wanted to keep you guys updated in that regard. But I do agree, getting on more exchanges will give us more exposure and it increases the opportunity for the value to increase. It's the case. I have entered into some relationships with some YouTubers to start pushing out some content. I've told those that YouTuber was one specifically that just start putting it out, letting them know what we've done, particularly around the case on our project promise of getting the Masternode ATM out and being functional. So with that said, I'll go ahead and pause to see if there are any other questions, because I've addressed the ones that have been presented so far, and I will let Colin talk about the dev update, what's happening in China, some things that might be happening in Latin America, and then we can take it from there. No more questions, no more issues, no more comments or concerns I see. At this point, Colin, you could take it over from here.
Can you hear me there?
Yeah, I can hear you, but let me see. Let me pause one thing here, the volume on this, and then get you back in. Okay, can you hear? Are you able to hear now, Colin?
Yeah, I can hear. Okay, so you just leave your screen up. I want to have another comment on the ATM, because this is a very tremendous milestone, right? What we have now is, I'm not going to go into what this proves, right? What we have now is we have a physical ATM that's being set up that now can handle all transactions, and more importantly, people can walk by and use it. People can walk by and look at it. People can walk by and start seeing our LPC branding. So this is tremendous for many reasons. As you guys know, before you can get to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you have to have one, right? And now there's one ATM set up, more based on logic in South America, and we now have one set up. We're being set up in North America. And again, I want everybody to understand what this means. This means now that we are literally in play. Anytime we see statistics that talk about blockchain or cryptocurrency ATMs in the US, we are now officially part of that conversation, right? When research is done, when statistics are being put together as who are players in this space, our name will start to come up. So now this is what I call passive branding, right? So this is a tremendous opportunity and a tremendous milestone for LPC. So all of you guys who are part of the community, all of you guys who believe in LPC, this is a win for all of us. So again, I want to add a few more comments because this is a tremendous opportunity. Okay, I'm going to move on, and I'm going to share my screen. Okay, Dane, I'm going to take over the sharing from you.
Okay.
So please unshare your screen, Dane.
Okay, give me a second here. I'm going to stop sharing. Let's see.
Yep, I got it.
And then I'm going to put your screen up.
Yep. So what you're seeing, you should be seeing.
Give me a second. I'll need to put your out. Can you minimize that for? No, let me minimize this screen. Hold on. There we. And I'm going to take this one. Now I'm going to take what you have, bring it over here, maximize. There we go.
Okay, so let me share some things that we're working on over here in Shanghai. I think most of you know I'm located here in Shanghai, China. We approached, I would say, maybe about 3 or 4 weeks ago, from a member of our community, Sam MGC. I believe Sam lives in Thailand. He's been a long time LPC and LGS owner, and he approached me, asking if he can help us get into and have a larger presence in Asia. We've been having a challenge doing this, and quite frankly, because the way China is the, let's say, the cryptocurrency and blockchain regulations in China are very different from outside of China. Meaning, you will not have, or it's going to be a challenge to have any physical ATMs here in China, to have a POS here in China. So with that, the investors or people who want to own LPC and LGS in China, they have to have a different reason to buy it all. So due to that, we sort of had a stalemate, so to speak. So Sam did reach out, and what we're doing now is we're doing a couple of things in unison. The first one is we're going to be listing on FexPro. What you're seeing here on the screen is the FexPro. That's FEXPRO.net. They are a mid-level exchange here in Asia. They are out of Singapore and Hong Kong. Now, what that means is their team is in China, but their corporate structure is outside of China. This is very important because China has a lot of investment money available. When I say China, I don't mean the country, I mean the people. But they want to know that they are buying into something that has a bright future. So what we've done is we're now looking at what do we need to do to go forward with a small marketing effort to try now to tap into and better understand those customers. The first thing we're doing, again, is listing on FexPro. We should be able to technically list on FexPro by the end of this week. What Sam has been doing, Sam has stepped up, again, a member of our community, has stepped up and offered to fully translate our white paper. So I talked with, I got to know from Sam this morning that the white paper should be done this week, and he has already translated our website. So going back, working with John and his team, we are going to now try to have our website in 3 languages: English, Spanish, and Mandarin. Now, I don't know precisely when we'll have the Spanish version. Right now, our focus is to have the Mandarin version of our website, the Mandarin version of a white paper, and at the same time to go live with FexPro. What this does, it allows us to be able to reach out to the consumer in China and then make sure, as they have questions, as they're going to do some of their due diligence, the first thing they're going to do is come to our website. For some, the second thing they're going to do is download our white paper. So this helps us to make sure that they have the information that they need to feel confident about LightPay card and LGS. Now, the key here is making sure that they understand the business model that we're putting forth. Now, one of the things that we're working on, we've talked a lot about ATM ownership. We now want to see if we can put in place a variation of ATM ownership for people here in parts of Asia. I can't go too deep into this because we're still fleshing this out, but it would be more of a ownership where you don't physically touch the machine, right? I'll talk more about that later. Okay, so we have those FexPro, right? FexPro Exchange, and right now we are trying to have this done this upcoming week. And I gotta say, FexPro has been very proactive in working with us. They actually want us to have this done on the 24th. However, we need more time to make sure our website and our white paper is completed. Next Saturday, which is the 26th, I will be attending here in Shanghai a bar camp event. This bar camp event, it's a IT one-day camp where individuals come in and share experiences in the IT field. Now, I'll be doing this and sharing a few things about our journey over the last year with LightPay Core and LGS. I'm probably going to talk more on the impact of those non-trust relationships, and I'll share with you guys next week how this goes. If you go into our Twitter account or to our Discord account. I'll post the flyer there so you can take a look at the flyer and see more about that event. Touching very quickly on devs. Well, David, do you have any questions? Keep going. Any questions there?
No, it's just questions so far, just around the beta wallet. No questions so
Okay,
far.
let me keep going. So as far as the devs, now we're doing a few things for the devs. Now, guys, I know you're going to say, "Good gosh, we've been talking about devs for at least 2 months now," and I agree with you. What we're doing is we're reaching out also here. I'm reaching out also here in Asia to identify some qualified devs. Now, one of the benefits of being in Asia is you have developers living in Asia from all over the world. Whether they're Asian, whether they're European, whether they're American, South American, North American, you have a very solid tool of devs here. So what I'm doing, is I'm looking to get some devs in here to really help us get past our initial open task orders. We talked about this in our last webinar. We have some task orders we need to get done so we can get to some of the more strategic work. So we have.
I don't know if the message that I sent out went through, but just continue talking as if we're still streaming on OBS. So if something is coming through, it's still going through to the to YouTube. So
okay. So let me continue. Let me restart on Lock Connection now that you're back on.
Okay. Yeah, we're already on.
Okay. So, Lock Connection, this event takes place at the end of May. This opportunity was brought to us by a colleague or a resource here I have in Shanghai who works on bringing blockchain organizations and blockchain investors together. He reached back out to us. We were working with him last year. He reached back out because he has noticed that there is a larger set of governmental and financial institutions in Latin America that are more open to blockchain and cryptocurrencies. As I mentioned before, Asia is quite frankly leaps and bounds ahead of some other geographic regions in the adoption of blockchain and cryptocurrencies. Latin America has much more open policies. So this event looks to bring the two together, bring some of the knowledge and know-how from Asia into Latin America. This event will take place at the end of May. Right now, we're working to see how we can be a part of this event. Damon and I met with the team last week to understand what their goal is, right, and how we can add value to that event. Not just in saying, look, this is LPC, this is LGS, this is what we do, but looking more at how can we really build relationships with some sort of governmental organization and financial organizations. Again, Latin America is saying, guys, we want to adopt this. Can you share with us some of your best practices? So we think this is potentially a great event for us to attend. And we may do some sort of strategic partnership with our ATM manufacturer, because it just makes sense that if we can show that we do have ATMs on the ground already in Colombia, that we can build on that. So again, we'll share more information as we go a little further with this. The last item I want to share is that, again, guys, we've been doing a lot of tremendous things. Again, if you have any comments, we still use our Discords. I want to make it very, very clear. If you want to get a hold of myself or Damon, please reach out to us with a direct message. If you're in a group chat and you just say at Damon or at Colin, we will not see that message. Okay? We will not see it. So if you say, I sent this message to Colin 2 days ago and he hasn't responded, I agree with you. It's because I didn't know anything about the message. So please DM us. If anything, DM us and tell us to refer to the chat and we'll go back and check it out. Okay, so guys, great talking to you. Again, we have a strong week ahead of us, getting listed on FlexPro, but also having a marketing event, which includes some airdrops, which includes some programs to really reach out to the Chinese community and pull them in. We have what we're doing with getting our website to a different level where we'll have more than one language available, including the white paper. And finally, looking at this Lock Connection event. So a lot of activity taking place. Any questions, guys? You have my information. I look forward to hearing back from you. Thanks, Dan.
And thanks, Colin. Once again, guys, if you need to get in contact with me, you're viewed on the main screen now, Colin. If you
Okay.
still want to get in contact with me, let me see. Let me give it a second. Let me put Colin, so he's not front and center. There you go. All right. So if you want to get in contact with me, the best way to get in contact with me is send me a message on Telegram. You can send me a DM on Discord. I try to come on Discord once a day for about 30 minutes to an hour. I'm not hanging out in general chat. If I'm on, I'm either coding or I'm sending email or I'm doing other things. So if you want to get in contact with me, send a direct message. There have been people who are saying I'm nowhere to be found. I'm AWOL. But Colin and I talk like every day. He sends me a message on Signal, which is another place where you can contact me as well. I'm on the Xanthic handle. Same thing on Telegram as well, the Xanthic handle, and even on Discord, Xanthic. So it's no surprise. So and like I said, it may take me a day or even two at most to get back, but I try to respond to everybody in as soon as I come on. It's like an email list now. It's a big dump. So it's around 9 p.m. We've been on about 30 minutes. Um, and I don't see any other questions. I do thank you guys for logging on. I do thank you guys for like hearing what we've done or what we've put in place so far. So share the word, spread the word that we have the world's first Masternode ATM that is actually confirming transactions, creating new blocks on the LitePaycoin blockchain. There's no project in the world that's doing this. This is a response to some of the proof of work consensus algorithm and the issues that they're having with ASICs, application specific integrated circuits, being run and consuming lots of energy. It's the case, this is a direct response to that, whereby you can, or we can protect our blockchain. We can confirm transaction, create new blocks by using a general purpose device, secure servers, linked to several blockchains that actually can be used for buying, selling, and swapping cryptocurrency. So with our partners, we worked with CoinLogic to make this happen. They were excited to move along the path of creating Masternode ATMs, and we've done it. With our partners at UCF, they liked the idea. We've done it. So once again, less than a year, we have a product. It's now time to move into the phase, as I mentioned earlier, where we're getting unit economics. How long does it take to sell this thing? What are the unit economics around selling the point of sale device? What are the marketing and some of the issues, marketing and sales issues that we're having? And we're going to have some challenges. We're going to have some bumps because this has never been done before in actually marketing a product like this. So I'm knocking on the Kroger doors. I'm knocking on the folks who are kind of disgruntled at some of the traditional payment systems. I went to a shipper the other day. I was kind of surprised, but they had a note where they said, if you have cash, please use cash. And that's not to even mention what's happening in barbershops and beauty salons where they're not even taking credit cards anymore because of the fees. Where I'm beginning to approach these entrepreneurs, these small and medium-sized business, and even some of these medium and even large grocers like a Kroger. So I don't know how far I'm going to make it up the chain. Just speak to the store manager. If I can get one in my hometown, that'd be great. If I can get one in DFW, wonderful. And then it's at the point, once we move up the chain and able to see who, we have a prototype of who we're targeting right now for the ATMs, like the small and medium-sized businesses, but perhaps we may need to modify our profile depending on how long it takes to the sales cycle and getting this out. Perhaps there's another profile of user, like a big, large, say a bank that doesn't have any branches, but they depend on ATMs, like USAA, hint, hint. That's another organization. Actually, they're based in Texas, where they actually already use cryptocurrency. You have a USA wallet. It's the case that you have a USAA mobile device. The cryptocurrencies from Coinbase are already on that wallet. It would be great if they would actually use our ATMs, begin to spread them around the world, and people begin to use our ATMs in partnership with USA. Not to say that partnership is happening or even that we've had those conversations with them, but we're close. So when we're moving along that path, and nobody can say that they've done what we've done so far. So with that said, guys, it's 9:03. I appreciate your time. If you have any questions, hit me up on the DM, and let's go out and spread the word about these point of sale devices, ATMs, and what we're doing in our community. Keep your head up. Keep your LPC in your pocket, and
up.
and up, and keep pushing, guys. So appreciate your time, and we'll talk to you next week.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks for joining, Colin. See you later,
All
bet. Okay, let me get the stream right here.